6 o'clock right now, and we continue to follow breaking news. I want you to look at your screen right now. A massive fire is roaring right now in Fort Myers. Take a look at this. This is on Medicus Lane. This is between Metro Parkway and US 41, just north of Crystal Drive. You know, Crystal's a big major thoroughway. It's only 2 lanes, but it's right there between 41 and Plantation. This is just north of Crystal, and you can see it is blazing right now.
We're getting you right to the action as crews work to tame the flames. NBC2's Alex Howard has been all over this investigation since those flames broke out. So, Alex, you've been there talking to people on scene. What are they telling you?
Well, they're telling me the building that's still on fire behind me right now is the Cable Corp of America. It's a wiring company. And when we first arrived, there were just flames pouring out of every door and window in this building. And that you could still see that yellow reddish glow coming from the far side of this building. And as you can see, this fire is not 100% under control just yet. And fire crews, every time they're dousing one part of it, you'll see flames coming out from another side. And if you'll look at that right now, just towards the back, you're still seeing large flames just pouring out of this building, despite the fact that they're continuing to douse it with water. And it's really incredible. Now, that thick black smoke that we've been seeing, coming out of this building has just been billowing out for quite some time. And this isn't far from residential neighborhoods either. There are people who live in the villas just nearby here. So this fire still, firefighters are working to get it under control. We've seen that they have sprayed the inside. At first they had to stand back. They couldn't get very close. Now they're starting to work their way towards the interior of the building. But again, they still do not have this fire 100% under control, and we're still watching as they're going to battle this blaze throughout the morning. But fortunately, it's not nearly as bad as it once was. But again, those flames still here. So we'll keep you updated on the condition of the fire throughout the hour as they're going to keep at it here. Reporting live in Fort Myers, Alex Howard, NBC2.
Look at these flames, and we've just learned that the fire has now spread to another building. There's also a tree nearby there as well. So this is a very active scene, an active investigation. You can see the firefighters there in the background as they work to put those flames out. Again, this is between just north of Crystal Drive, between 41 and Metro.
Yeah, and an industrial area too,
Yep.
Lisa. I mean, there's so many businesses in that area, and that's certainly the concern, is we're seeing this fire now spread from one building now to another, and as you mentioned, a tree is on fire. So this is certainly a major fight right now for
near
firefighters.
Villas Elementary as well. We're
Yes.
working to see if that's going to affect drop-off. So we're continuing to work this scene, call our sources. If you're just waking up with this, there is a massive fire burning at a warehouse in Fort Myers on Medicus Lane. That's between 41 and Metro. It's north of Crystal Drive. So we're continuing to gather additional information while we're there. We've reached out to our sources with the Lee County School District, Villas Elementary School, finding out if it's going to affect drop-off for parents. But again, we have reporters there on the scene continuing to find out, as this fire is spreading, which businesses are affected, if there are any evacuations that we need to know about, because we know that there are a lot of people that live around this area as well. So again, stay with NBC2 throughout the morning.
624, welcome back. A fire continues to rage on, and the battle continues right now in central Fort Myers. This is off of Medicus Lane, just north of Crystal Drive between Metro and US 41. And you can see the massive smoke, and we're not seeing as many flames right now, but it was certainly raging. But look at all of the fire crews that are on scene, and we understand this fire has jumped to another building too at one point. But Lisa, a heavily industrial area there as firefighters continue to battle it.
Right, and that's the industrial area, but there's also residential areas around it. Villas Elementary is nearby. We've reached out to the Lee County School District. I've personally reached out to teachers at Villas Elementary trying to find out if this is going to affect parents dropping off their kids this morning. But again, NBC2 has multiple crews here on scene.
Firefighters been battling this flames since the 5 o'clock hour, and we've been right alongside them.
For those of you who are just joining us, this is happening on Medicus Lane. That is between Metro Parkway and 41. It's north of Crystal Drive, which is a major cut through for the morning commute. So we're keeping an eye on that. And NBC2's Alex Howard is there continuing to gather information. He was one of the first people on scene.
And I actually just spoke with the public information officer on scene. Now, firefighters tell me that this fire still is not yet contained. They're on attack mode, and right now they're trying to just prevent it from spreading to anywhere else. Now, this is an industrial warehouse. It's the American Cable Corp. It's a wiring company. In just a few minutes ago, we saw a thick black smoke just coming out of the top of that building right over there. I want to show you from the mast cam what it's looking like right now. We're not seeing the flames that we were earlier, as they've managed to get most of those doused. However, we are still seeing a lot of white smoke coming out of these buildings. They're trying to prevent it, again, from spreading to anywhere else. And this isn't far from a residential neighborhood, so it's definitely important to know. And that black smoke could become a problem, as it just seems to be kind of hanging over this area right now. Again, it's still a developing scene. We're trying to find out what the cause is, and of course there's going to be an investigation to look into that. But in the meantime, firefighters are just working their hardest to make sure that it doesn't spread anywhere else. Reporting live from Fort Myers, Alex Howard, NBC2.
And Alex mentioned the residential neighborhood, and I've been in touch with Villas Elementary. Lee County School District just said typically the fire police activity is just going to slow things down, if anything, so it's not going to affect, as of right now, drop-off at Villas Elementary.
Yeah, and Alice, you mentioned the containment there. Were there any concerns from the fire officials you talked to for folks outside of that industrial area right now?
For right now, they're saying that we're safe from this distance. The immediate area, they're not concerned. They told us that if it was an issue, that they would have told us to back up. So right now, it doesn't look like any of the buildings that are beyond this fence or outside of this complex that are at risk. But this is a densely populated, or not densely populated, but a thickly packed industrial complex. So we actually already saw the fire jump from one building to another, and there's another warehouse on the other side of that complex that they're worried could also go up. So that's what they're kind of working to contain right now.
All right, Alex Howard live for us there. Stay on top of that, and you really feel for folks. We saw some people showing up, maybe business owners there in that area, and that's certainly heartbreaking.
Yeah, I want to give you another perspective. This is an incredible aerial picture that we received actually from one of our viewers. This was just sent in from Jesse Schmidt, and it certainly gives you a better idea of just how big this scene and how big that fire is.
Of course, the biggest story right now, though, is what's happening here. That smoke you see here is from that large fire we're following right now just to the north of Crystal Drive off of Medicus. And this area of patchy white stuff here, that's not part of the fire. That's part of the patchy fog we're seeing across the area right now.
Breaking news, if you are just waking up with us, we want to show you this incredible live shot of this massive fire that is burning in Fort Myers. We know this is a warehouse on a Medicus Lane, which is between Metro Parkway and US 41. It's north of Crystal Drive, so that's a major cut through during the morning commute. You might want to avoid that this morning because this fire is ongoing, and the fire crews there are telling people stay away if you can.
Yeah, and you can certainly see the reason. That's just an incredible shot there from above, and you can see all of the buildings there, an industrial area, all clumped together right there, and as you can tell, it's jumped now from one building to another, and there are communities outside there. We know the Villas, the Hideaway Golf Club, but Alex Howard on scene has told us that fire officials believe, they obviously don't have it contained, but they believe it's contained to at least inside these businesses, into these warehouses.
Here's a problem, though, that Alex just got information. He's hearing there could be accelerants in that warehouse, which is obviously going to cause some major complications for these firefighters who are battling this fire on a Medicus Lane. Again, they're telling people to stay away from the scene. If you're there, they're saying do not drive over their fire hoses. There's 3 different fire districts that are there. The good news is there are no injuries that are being reported right now. But again, you can see that this fire, it continues to burn as they continue to pour water on it and try and get it under control. But again, it's not contained as of right now.
And we got a live report coming up to you from Alex Howard, who will be getting us new information momentarily, so stay tuned for that.
All right, getting you back to that breaking news before we let you go. This massive fire is still burning in Fort Myers, but the good news, we just learned it is now contained. We were at the scene around 5 this morning. We know it's a 3-alarm fire. There were 3 fire districts called out, but no injuries. State Fire Marshal is on the way.
Let's give you an idea of where this sits. This is the map to show you exactly where it is. It's on Medicus Lane. You may not know that, but it's off Crystal Drive, a very popular road there between Metro Parkway and US 41. A pretty busy area, especially right now for people's commute, getting to schools, daycares. Let's get you right out to NBC2's Alex Howard for the latest. Alex, that's good news of the containment.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. South Trail Fire just came over about a minute ago telling me that this fire is officially contained. Still, though, they've got their work cut out for them. As you can see, there's still a lot of smoke, and they're touching hot spots here and there as firefighters are continuing to try and contain it and keep it contained. I want to show you from our mass cam right now what it's really looking like from a bird's eye view. You can still see that dark colored smoke. That's, I'm told, could become from some sort of accelerant that's inside one of these warehouses here. Now, the first building that was on fire when we first arrived, that was a wiring company. I'm told it's the American Cable Corp. And that fire initially started there and then spread to the other buildings. And so that's what firefighters have really had their hands full fighting throughout the morning. And we're going to keep on this and let you know the investigation once we find out more about how this fire all started. Reporting live in Fort Myers, Alex Howard, NBC2.
All right, thanks, Allard. We want to give you another live look from another vantage point. We want to get to Edna Ruiz. She's on the other side of this fire. Edna, what are you seeing? What have you been able to confirm?
Lisa, I actually just talked with somebody that works here. He said he was watching the news, he had his cup of coffee ready to head out to work, and he saw a building that looked familiar. That one right there that you can still see some smoke coming out of. You can still see some flames closer in there. That's actually the office for Cable Company of America. He tells me he didn't believe it at first and he had to get here once he got here in complete shock. He said this is his whole life. This is his full-time job. He's a maintenance worker here. He's worked here for 4 years. He's in his late 50s. He planned on retiring here, and now he's seeing all of that go up in flames. Just take a look. A very shocking scene for him as well as his coworkers this morning, and of course the owners here of Cable Company of America. So we do know that multiple buildings here that they have caught fire. Right now it's unclear what they can salvage from this company. Unfortunately, a lot of people here out of a job for now. Of course, we'll continue to monitor this as we get new information. I'm live in Fort Myers, Edna Ruiz, NBC2.
And of course, that is an industrial area, so now we're continuing to gather information, finding out what is inside that warehouse as well as the buildings that are around it.
Yeah, and that was the problem, is that fire jumped, and you just, as Edna just said, you just feel for so many people because this fire seems to now be affecting a lot of folks in that industrial area.
Taking a live look. We're going to continue to follow this throughout the morning. We'll continue to bring you updates throughout the Today Show as well, live from the scene.
Have a great morning, everybody. And if you take Crystal, you may want to take another route this morning, taking out to the Today Show.